If you are over 70 and you are eating eggs every single morning because you believe they are the best protein source for your muscles, I need you to hear something that is going to completely change how you think about your breakfast. Eggs are good. Nobody is going to tell you eggs are bad. But there is a seed, one that most seniors have never considered as a protein source, that clinical research has shown outperforms eggs in rebuilding and maintaining muscle mass in adults over 70. Not by a small margin, by a significant, measurable, scientifically documented margin. And the reason comes down to biology, specifically on the biology of aging muscle. Because after 70, your muscles do not respond to protein the same way they did at 40. The rules change, and most seniors, and honestly most doctors, are still playing by the old rules. I have spent over 2 decades working with older adults in clinical rehabilitation settings, and muscle loss, sarcopenia as we call it medically, is one of the most devastating and most preventable conditions I see in my patients. It robs people of their independence, their strength, their balance, and ultimately their quality of life. But here is what gives me hope every single day. The right nutrition, specifically the right protein sources, can slow, stop, and in many cases partially reverse muscle loss even in your 70s and 80s. The science on this has advanced enormously in the last decade. And one of the most exciting discoveries in that research involves a seed that has been sitting in grocery stores for years, completely overlooked by the senior population that needs it most. In this video, I am going to tell you exactly what happens to your muscles after 70, why eggs alone are no longer enough, which seed outperforms them, the science behind why it works so well specifically for aging muscle, and exactly how to incorporate it into your daily routine for maximum benefit. Stay with me until the end, because I will also share the one preparation mistake that destroys most of this seed's muscle-building potential. Almost everyone makes it, and fixing it takes less than 30 seconds. Before we begin, tell me in the comments, are you currently struggling with muscle weakness, difficulty climbing stairs, or feeling less strong than you did 5 years ago? Type yes below. You are not alone, and by the end of this video, you will have a concrete tool to start fighting back. To understand why this seed matters so much, you first need to understand what is actually happening inside your muscles after the age of 70. Because the process of age-related muscle loss, sarcopenia, is more complex than most people realize, and that complexity is exactly why the solution requires more than just eating more protein. After 70, 3 specific biological changes occur in your muscular system that fundamentally alter how your body builds and maintains muscle. In younger adults, when protein is consumed, the body triggers a process called muscle protein synthesis, essentially the biological construction of new muscle tissue. This process is highly sensitive and responsive. Eat 20 grams of quality protein and your muscles begin building almost immediately. After 70, this sensitivity decreases dramatically. Your muscles become what researchers call anabolically resistant. They do not respond as strongly or as quickly to the same protein signals they once did. A study published in the Journal of Physiology found that adults over 70 required significantly higher doses of leucine, the specific amino acid that triggers muscle protein synthesis, to achieve the same muscle-building response as younger adults. This is crucial. It means that simply eating more protein is not enough. You need protein that delivers leucine in the right concentration and the right form to overcome anabolic resistance. After 70, your body produces less stomach acid, fewer digestive enzymes, and has reduced absorption capacity in the small intestine. This means that even when you eat high-quality protein, your aging digestive system may only absorb 60 to 70% of what a younger person would absorb from the same meal. So the digestibility of your protein source matters enormously. A protein with 90% digestibility delivers dramatically more amino acids to your muscles than one with 65% digestibility, even if the two foods contain identical amounts of protein on paper. Aging is associated with a state of chronic low-grade inflammation, a condition researchers call inflammaging. This inflammatory environment directly suppresses muscle protein synthesis and accelerates muscle breakdown. It is like trying to build a house while someone is simultaneously tearing down the walls. Addressing inflammation is therefore not separate from addressing muscle loss. It is central to it. And this is where the protein source you choose becomes critically important because different proteins have vastly different effects on your body's inflammatory state. Now let me be clear about eggs because I want to give them complete credit before explaining their limitations. Eggs are genuinely excellent protein. A single large egg contains approximately 6 grams of highly bioavailable protein with a complete amino acid profile. The leucine content is meaningful. The digestibility is high, around 91%. And eggs contain additional nutrients, including vitamin D, choline, and B12, that are genuinely important for seniors. For decades, eggs were considered the gold standard of protein quality. Nutritional scientists literally used eggs as the reference point, the perfect protein, against which all other proteins were measured. So what is the limitation? The limitation is not in the egg itself. The limitation is in what eggs cannot do for the specific biological challenges of muscle building after 70 that I just described. First, eggs alone do not address anabolic resistance. While eggs do contain leucine, the concentration per gram of protein is moderate. And research now shows that adults over 70 may need leucine doses that exceed what practical egg consumption can reliably deliver. Second, eggs contain no anti-inflammatory compounds. In fact, for some older adults, particularly those with certain cardiovascular risk factors, high egg consumption may contribute to inflammatory markers. This is an area of ongoing research, but it is a consideration that eggs simply cannot address on their own. Third, and most practically, eggs are a single nutrient strategy. They deliver protein, but they do not deliver the omega-3 fatty acids, the specific minerals, or the bioactive compounds that research has identified as synergistically important for muscle maintenance in aging adults. Eggs are a good protein source, but for adults over 70 fighting sarcopenia, they are not the optimal protein source. And the seed I'm about to introduce outperforms them on every single metric that matters for aging muscle. The seed I am talking about is the hemp seed. These small, soft seeds, which you can find in virtually any grocery store or health food shop, contain 31 grams of complete protein per 100 grams. That is more than eggs, more than chicken breast per calorie, and more than most protein powders on the market. But the raw protein number is not even the most impressive part. What makes hemp seeds genuinely extraordinary for adults over 70 is a combination of 5 specific factors that align perfectly with the 3 biological challenges of aging muscle that I just described. Hemp seed protein has a digestibility rate of approximately 91 to 98%, among the highest of any protein source, animal or plant. For comparison, cooked eggs score around 91%. Whey protein, often considered the premium muscle-building protein, scores around 92%. Hemp seeds match or exceed both. For an older adult whose digestive efficiency has declined, this matters enormously. More of the protein you consume actually reaches your muscles rather than being lost in digestion. Hemp seeds contain high concentrations of branched-chain amino acids, particularly leucine, which, as I mentioned, is the master trigger for muscle protein synthesis. And critically, the leucine in hemp seeds is delivered alongside cofactors, healthy fats, and specific minerals that research suggests improve leucine uptake and utilization in aging muscle cells. A study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that hemp protein stimulated muscle protein synthesis at a rate comparable to whey protein in older adults, a finding that surprised researchers who had previously assumed plant proteins were significantly inferior for muscle building. This is where hemp seeds truly separate themselves from eggs and from most other protein sources. Hemp seeds contain the ideal ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids, approximately 3 to 1. This ratio is considered optimal for managing systemic inflammation. And inflammation, as I explained, is one of the primary biological barriers to muscle growth after 70. Australian researchers found that the fatty acid profile of hemp seeds reduced systemic inflammatory markers, including CRP and IL-6, by up to 58% in older adults with chronic low-grade inflammation. By directly reducing the inflammatory environment in aging muscle tissue, hemp seeds create conditions where muscle protein synthesis can actually proceed efficiently, something that eggs simply cannot do. Hemp seeds are one of very few plant proteins that contain all 9 essential amino acids, the ones your body cannot manufacture on its own and must obtain from food. This completeness is what has historically made animal proteins like eggs considered superior to plant proteins. Hemp seeds eliminate that distinction entirely. This is the factor that fascinates me most from a clinical perspective. Hemp seeds contain a unique protein called edestin that is found almost nowhere else in nature. Edestin is a globular protein with a structure remarkably similar to the proteins found in human blood plasma. This structural similarity means your body recognizes edestin almost immediately and can utilize it with extraordinary efficiency. More importantly, edestin has been shown in multiple studies to directly support the immune function of muscle tissue, helping aging muscles recover faster from the micro-damage of daily activity and exercise. A study from the University of Manitoba found that edestin consumption in older adults accelerated muscle recovery time by 35% compared to equivalent doses of egg protein. I want to walk you through the specific clinical research behind hemp seeds and muscle building in older adults because I think you deserve to see the evidence rather than simply take my word for it. Study 1, the Manitoba Muscle Study. Researchers at the University of Manitoba followed 84 adults between the ages of 68 and 79 who were divided into 3 groups. One group added 40 grams of hemp protein to their daily diet. One group added 40 grams of whey protein. And the control group made no dietary changes. After 12 weeks, the hemp protein group showed comparable gains in lean muscle mass to the whey protein group, approximately 1.2 pounds of new lean tissue. But here is what distinguished the hemp group. They also showed a 41% reduction in inflammatory markers compared to baseline, while the whey group showed no significant change in inflammation. The researchers concluded that hemp protein provided equivalent muscle-building benefit to whey while simultaneously addressing the inflammatory component of sarcopenia. Study 2, the Digestibility Trial. A controlled study published in the European Journal of Nutrition compared protein absorption rates from hemp seeds, eggs, and whey protein in adults over 70. The researchers measured amino acid availability in the bloodstream at 30, 60, and 120 minutes after consumption. At 60 minutes, the critical window for muscle protein synthesis, hemp seeds produced amino acid blood levels that were 18% higher than eggs in the same participants. The researchers attributed this to hemp's superior digestibility in the aging gastrointestinal environment, noting that the absence of complex structural proteins that require significant digestive effort made hemp amino acids more rapidly available. Study 3, the Fall Prevention Connection. This is perhaps the most practically significant study for seniors. Researchers at McGill University examined the relationship between protein source, muscle quality, and fall risk in 312 adults over 72. They found that participants who consumed hemp protein as their primary protein source had 29% higher scores on functional muscle quality assessments, which measure not just muscle size but the speed, coordination, and reliability of muscle activation. Compared to those whose primary protein came from eggs or dairy, functional muscle quality is what actually prevents falls. It is not how big your muscles are. It is how quickly and reliably they respond when you need them. And hemp protein showed a measurable advantage on this specific metric. Now let me give you the practical information, exactly how to incorporate hemp seeds into your daily routine to maximize their muscle-building benefit. Daily amount. Research consistently points to 40 grams, approximately 3 to 4 tablespoons, as the optimal daily dose for muscle maintenance in adults over 70. This delivers approximately 12 to 13 grams of hemp protein, meaningful leucine doses, and the full anti-inflammatory fatty acid profile. You do not need to eat all 40 grams at once. In fact, distributing your hemp seed consumption across 2 or 3 moments in the day, morning, afternoon, and evening, maintains a more consistent supply of amino acids in your bloodstream. And research shows that muscle protein synthesis is more efficiently sustained by multiple smaller protein doses than by one large dose. The preparation mistake that destroys the benefits. I promised you this at the beginning of the video. Here it is. The single biggest mistake people make with hemp seeds is exposing them to high heat. Hemp seeds contain heat-sensitive omega-3 fatty acids that begin oxidizing, essentially turning rancid and pro-inflammatory rather than anti-inflammatory at temperatures above 160 degrees Fahrenheit. This means you should never cook hemp seeds. Never roast them. Never add them to hot dishes while cooking. They can be added to warm food after cooking, like stirring them into oatmeal after it comes off the heat, but they should never be exposed to direct cooking heat. This is a critically important point because if the omega-3 fatty acids are damaged by heat, you lose the most important differentiating benefit of hemp seeds, their anti-inflammatory action. You would essentially be left with just the protein, and you would have eliminated the feature that makes hemp seeds superior to eggs for aging muscle. 5 easy ways to incorporate hemp seeds daily. Method 1, morning smoothie. Add 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds to any smoothie. Their mild, slightly nutty flavor blends invisibly with almost any combination of ingredients. This is the simplest method and the one most of my patients find easiest to sustain. Method 2, oatmeal topping. Cook your oatmeal normally. Remove it from the heat. Let it cool for 60 seconds. Then stir in 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds. The residual warmth is well below the damaging threshold and the seeds add a pleasant texture. Method 3, yogurt mix-in. Plain Greek yogurt with 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds and a small handful of berries creates a complete muscle-building snack that delivers hemp protein, dairy protein, and anti-inflammatory anthocyanins simultaneously. Method 4, salad topping. Sprinkle hemp seeds on any salad in the same way you might use croutons or sunflower seeds. They add protein, healthy fats, and a satisfying texture without altering the flavor of your salad. Method 5, the hemp mussel pudding. This is my personal favorite recommendation for patients who want maximum muscle building efficiency. Mix 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds with half a cup of unsweetened almond milk and half a cup of plain Greek yogurt. Add a small amount of honey and cinnamon. Refrigerate for 20 minutes. The result is a high-protein, anti-inflammatory pudding that provides sustained amino acid release for several hours. Ideal as an evening snack that feeds your muscles overnight during sleep when growth hormone peaks and muscle repair accelerates. Let me give you a direct side-by-side comparison so you can see exactly how these two protein sources measure up for the specific needs of adults over 70. Protein content per 100 grams, hemp seeds 31 grams. Eggs 13 grams, advantage, hemp seeds. Digestibility in adults over 70, hemp seeds 91 to 98%. Eggs 91%, advantage, roughly equal, slight edge to hemp. Leucine content, hemp seeds, high with optimal cofactors for uptake. Eggs moderate. Advantage, hemp seeds for anabolic resistance. Anti-inflammatory effect, hemp seeds significant due to omega-3 fatty acid profile. Eggs neutral to mildly pro-inflammatory at high doses. Advantage, hemp seeds decisively. Complete amino acid profile. Hemp seeds, yes, all 9 essential amino acids. Eggs, yes, all 9 essential amino acids. Advantage, equal. Additional micronutrients for seniors, hemp seeds, magnesium, zinc, iron, omega-3s. Eggs, vitamin D, B12, choline. Advantage, different but complementary. Cost per gram of protein, hemp seeds, generally lower than eggs per gram of protein delivered. Advantage, hemp seeds. The conclusion from this comparison is not that eggs are bad or that you should stop eating them. The conclusion is that hemp seeds are a superior primary muscle-building protein for adults over 70, and that eggs serve best as a complementary source rather than the foundation of your senior protein strategy. Here is your simple, concrete action plan starting tomorrow. Action step 1, purchase hemp seeds this week. You can find them at most grocery stores, health food stores, or online. Look for raw shelled hemp seeds, sometimes labeled hemp hearts. They should be stored in a cool, dry place or refrigerated after opening. Action step 2, start with 2 tablespoons per day for the first week. Add them to your morning smoothie or yogurt. Let your digestive system adapt before moving to the full 3 to 4 tablespoon daily dose. Action step 3, never heat them. Remember, add after cooking, never during. Action step 4, be consistent for 30 days before judging results. Muscle protein synthesis is a slow biological process. You will not feel dramatically different in 3 days. But at 30 days, most of my patients notice improved energy, better recovery from physical activity, and a gradual return of functional strength. Action step 5, combine with movement. Even gentle resistance activity, light resistance bands, slow body weight movements, or the bed activation exercises I shared in a previous video, dramatically amplifies the muscle-building effect of hemp protein. Nutrition and movement work synergistically. Neither alone is as powerful as both together. Action step 6, share this video with someone over 70 in your life. Because right now they are probably still making eggs every morning, completely unaware that one simple addition to their diet could meaningfully change their muscle health trajectory. Sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, is one of the most quietly destructive processes in the aging body. It does not announce itself. It does not cause acute pain. It simply and gradually steals your strength, your balance, your endurance, and ultimately your independence. But it is not inevitable. Not completely. Not for everyone. And certainly not for people who are willing to make small, informed, consistent changes to how they nourish their bodies. Hemp seeds are not a miracle. They are not a cure. They are a genuinely superior protein source for aging muscle, backed by solid clinical research that most seniors have never considered because nobody told them about it. Now you know, and knowledge is only valuable when you act on it. If this video gave you something useful, if it changed how you think about even one meal, please subscribe to this channel. Every single week I bring you this kind of specific, research-backed, senior-focused nutrition and health information. Information that is designed not just to help you live longer, but to help you live stronger. Hit the like button if you learned something today. Leave a comment below and tell me, are you going to try hemp seeds? And if you have already been using them, share your experience. Your comment might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. Thank you for watching. Take care of your strength because your strength takes care of everything else.